Camera or your funny
You can't
face?
look at me.
I should look at you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty scary.
Okay, Kevin, yesterday you say that Norwegian breakaway based in New York will be a milestone in the cruise industry. What changes will occur?
It's really, and if you've experienced the Norwegian Epic, it was the first step towards really cementing the complete resort casual vacation experience of freedom and flexibility that we define as freestyle cruising. But it really is a resort style vacation experience where there's dozens of different opportunities to dine and entertainment dispersed around the ship. There's no big, huge theater, so people are out and they may go from one show to another show to hopefully they go to the Sheehan's pub and grab a beer, or they stop at the casino, but they're out having a lot of fun. And we see with the Epic that our guests are out well into the early morning hours of the next morning versus the contemporary cruise lines where, as you know, they go to dinner, they go to the show, they go to bed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. New York is very well connected. With all the world. Do you expect that passengers come all over the world for cruising the breakaway, or the local market is your key market?
Well, I think it's a combination of both. It's hopefully a significant. So the more demand we drive to the ship, obviously the better the ship will perform. So you want to have all of the opportunities wide open so that people see this great experience. So if you're coming from Europe and you have a vacation, you can come and spend 3 or 4 days experiencing New York City, and then you can experience New York City on a ship. Mm-hmm. And it just is a kind of a nice back and forth that really gives you a holistic opportunity to really walk away with a wholesome New York experience. And so I think you're going to get quite a few people that will over time see that as a really unbelievable, besides the fact that when you think about the pricing and you compare it to the hotels in New York City, you could stay there and at a nice discount, and not only have your accommodations, but all your meals and entertainment and the water park and on and on and on. So for the European and the South American, it is the perfect vacation experience because they love New York, as you know. Mm-hmm. And when they come, they can really get that at an efficient way, and maybe have a few days and spend the big money in the hotels in the city.
What is the new facility in the breakaway that you can't wait to try?
Oh my God! I was acting like I was going to be a big shot and go down these water slides. Wow. And I was up in the top of the ship the other day, and you walk up the steps to where you actually get into the slide, and I said, "Oh my God, this is scary."
Yeah.
And this is inside the hall, inside a building where we're building the ship. I can only imagine how much scarier it will be when we're out on the ocean, and you're looking, and it will be a eye-opening experience for whoever experiences it. And you know that we're all going to try it, and we're all going to have a ball and keep trying all the different slides.
Okay. Norwegian Epic has cabins for 2 crew members each, so crew are very happy with the working conditions in the city. Will the breakaway have the same or better facilities for the crew?
We actually started with the Epic with some cabins that actually have individual cabins. Mm-hmm. So there's a crew member in a cabin, and then there's a crew member in another cabin, and they share the bathroom, but they have their own cabin. So that was a very important focus of mine when I came into the company, when I first saw some of the ships that we no longer have that had crew accommodations that had as many as 6 people in a cabin with a tiny little bathroom. And I'm saying to myself, these people are dedicating their life to work for Norwegian Cruise Line. We can't treat them like that. So we've been working progressively, and now with the breakaway and the getaway and the breakaway plus ships, we're working better and better to make their experience that much better. We've done so many other things for the crew members. I've shortened their contracts by 2 months. Mm-hmm. So that gets to a point too where the crew member says, "Hey, I don't really want a shorter contract because when I get here, I want to work for a certain period of time so I can save money." So we're now saying, "All right, let's be flexible. If you want the shorter contract, we have it. If you want the longer contract, we'll make that work for you too." And then we've deeply discounted from when I worked in the company the cost of calling home and being able to Skype. It breaks my heart when our crew member will tell me about their little baby at home and not being able to see them. So we're making it much more affordable for them to have a little conversation in the evening with their family. So it's making, and that's why I think when I walk down the deck, I go on a ship every month. When I walk down the deck of a ship, every crew member lights up and is so excited to see me because they know I really, really care. It's more important to me, the crew, than anything else. You know, being a public company, being anything, is all secondary to the quality of life for our crew members. And so every time I come on a ship, I actually have big lunches with 20 or 30 people several times during the course of that couple of days I'm on the ship to make sure I'm hearing what their concerns are, what we can do better for them.
Congratulations for this.
Oh, thank you.
Most of the big cruise companies are deploying ships in Asia. Is Norwegian Cruise Line planning to go to Asia in the next years, or the presence of Star Cruises means that the area is forbidden to Norwegian?
Well, it's not forbidden, and that's a great point that you're making. And see, we have 11 ships growing to 15, so we don't have, you know, a lot of pressure right now because there's lots of destinations that we can bring our ships and ports of call in the markets that we're in and we're comfortable with, and we know that we're not taking unnecessary risk. As we get bigger, we feel we have a competitive advantage because of Star Cruises, and you know, when we decide to bring a ship over, and what I'm looking at is itineraries where we would have 6 months in Australia and 6 months in Asia, depending on the season. I think we have a great opportunity because we have Star and Genting as a support system for us. They've got a big call center, they've got sales teams, they've got training facilities, and we're all in sync. I just think right now the market is opening, and as Richard Fain and Mickey Harrison keep saying, Kevin, I know what you're doing. You're going to wait till the market is open and we do all the hard work, and then you're going to waltz in. And that is what we're going to do. We can't afford to take unnecessary risks. We are a company that's very cautious in how we build the future, and we've done it pretty good over the last 5 years, and I want to make sure that we do that for the next 5 years.
Local question. Change of the Chilean politics will make the Norwegian ships return to that region?
I think South America is a great market, and we're missing a lot of that right now, and we're looking at that actively. I think we need to, as a global brand, we need to have a solution that has ships that go into some of the interesting ports. I was in Colombia last week. I went down to Cartagena and met with the local people there, and you know, wonderful destination, and you know, that's the first step. We need to figure out how to make these beautiful destinations. You hear me talk about the Caribbean and our ships, and the guests keep coming back to the same old stuff. We need to broaden that and make it interesting for our guests to see new and exciting destinations. And I think any of the markets in South America would be, you know, as long as the market is open to us, it's safe, and it's got a relevant proposition and interesting things to do while in the port of call, that'd be, you know, a perfect scenario for us.
Okay. Brazil is the fastest growing market, but Norwegian doesn't have ships there. Is that country in your future plans?
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was saying. It's the same point. Brazil has got, and there's so many Brazilians that come up here, and you know, we're not even getting the right opportunity with them coming up into, you know, it's funny because a lot of them will fly up and come to Miami, and they'll actually take a bus up to Fort Lauderdale and get on one of our competitor ships, and we need to make sure they're aware of the wonderful ships that we have, because they're built for the South American people. It's what they want. They don't want to be told what to do and when to do it. They want our freestyle proposition. Sure. You know, when they want to go to dinner, they want to go to dinner. They're on vacation. They should be able to do it the way they want, on their terms.
Okay. Spanish market fall 18% last year. How was 2012 for Norwegian in Spain, and what do you expect for this year with the travel agent strengthening strategy?
Yeah, I think some of the European countries like Spain have been a little bit more challenging. They have been great feeder markets for us. We understand what's going on in the market, so we've got other plans to make sure we augment that with other capabilities in some of the other European countries. They are a late booking group, so they typically wait to, you know, a lot closer to the sailing date. They make the decisions on their vacation closer than the Americans do that might be doing it 18 months in advance. So, excuse me. So we are programming different initiatives to try to make sure we're appealing to those markets, and I think it's going according to what we expected. So, but we'd like it to be a healthier environment. We wish them better luck in seeing the economies strengthen.
Mm-hmm. After the Triumph incident, is Norwegian Cruise Line reviewing his own systems on board to avoid such situations could happen in the future?
Yeah, I think the whole industry is incumbent on us. Regardless of that incident, looking at it from a macro standpoint, we are one industry, and whenever something like that happens, it's a reminder to all of us to make sure that we've got all the right protocols and controls in place, and we are actively doing that, and with confidence that those types of situations wouldn't occur. And I'm sure the Carnival guys are doing the exact same thing, and we act as one voice in the industry when there's a situation like this. So, I would never want to say anything different than that, because I respect the guys that run those brands, and they've done a terrific job for a lot longer than me. So, I'm a rookie in the industry.
Okay, last question is, where do you see the company in 10 years?
In 10 years, hopefully I'll be watching it with binoculars. My journey, what I said when I came here is that I gave every one of our senior managers a book, Good to Great, and it's a book by Jim Collins. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. And it's done a rating of thousands of companies over a very long period of time, and there's only been about a dozen companies that have been able to take a brand that's been in existence and move that brand from good to great. And how do they define good to great? It's, as you may or may not know, Norwegian had 40 years of inconsistent service and a lot of things that went wrong. So when we got in, we kind of all said, we got to make this right. We're here for the future. We've had 20 quarters, 5 years of great success, and we're very proud of it. We've led the industry in the last number of quarters in pricing, in onboard revenue, in the cost side. We've got record guest satisfaction. We've got travel agent advocacy initiatives that we're working on, and on and on and on. And we've turned around our marketing program to make it more understandable to the consumer. So we're working through, and I'd say we're on the, probably the soccer term, which I'm not going to know what midfield is, and maybe that's the term, and we're on the 50-yard line on the football field, and we've got the last 50 to go, and we're charging like a united team. We don't have any big shots in our company. It's just a bunch of hardworking people that are trying to do the right thing to build this great brand. And I am 100% confident when we get to the finish line that we will be the top performer in the premium category, because this brand and this proposition and our ships and our everything else that goes along with how do you make something great, we're well on our way to getting there.
Okay. ¿Tienes alguna pregunta tú?
No, estaban inscritas.
Thank
Well,
you.
Oh, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Did your belly pop at all? I mean, I could have gone up and down over here too.
Yeah.